Hey, this is Chris from createablogtonight.com. Welcome to this very special workshop called How to Create a Blog That People Will Actually Find and Want to Read Over and Over Again. Before I get into the details of what we're going to cover today, I'd like you to close your eyes for a moment. I want you to picture yourself a year from now posting a new article on your wildly successful blog. People are finding you in Google, leaving likes and comments, and some extra money is coming in to help you with your household budget. Isn't that a great feeling? If you're like most people I've met over the years that want to create a blog, then you're probably struggling with the confusion and fear of knowing how to actually get started. Maybe you don't know how to launch or build a website, and you think you don't have the technical skills. Maybe you don't know how many topics you should cover and how often to post. You're probably wondering what costs are involved and if there's any legal considerations. And of course, the big question on everyone's mind, how do I get traffic and how do I monetize it? That is why I made this video. My name is Chris Waldall from the beautiful Boise, Idaho. I am an IT professional by trade, and I made my very first website back in 2002 and my very first blog using WordPress in 2003. Since then, I've built hundreds of websites, and now I own a small network of blogs that bring in thousands of page views from Google and YouTube every month. I've put together a 6-step plan that anyone who can send an email and isn't afraid to work hard can follow. Once you complete each and every one of these steps, you'll have a blog online, and you'll be well on your way to becoming a creator, creating value for your readers, and getting your voice out on the internet. The best part about this workshop is that we are not going to be working in the land of theory. The brand new blog that we are going to create in this video is a real live blog that I'm going to stand up in my existing network of blogs and grow it like crazy. I'm not going to hold anything back, and this video is just the starting point. The video you're watching now is the first part of a series where I'm going to catalog the entire growth of this blog and add updates as we move along. If you are ready to stop dreaming and are looking for a plan to give you the results you want, then get buckled in, because the next 2.5 hours are packed full of easy to understand and useful information. Let's break down what we're going to cover today. This workshop is broken up into 6 steps I recommend to get your blog online and on the right track. Step 1, preparation. Step 2, creation. Step 3, beautification. Step 4, construction. Step 5, monetization. And step 6, promotion. In step 1, preparation, we're going to talk about finding the right topic, the right domain name, and how to get a great looking logo for your blog. I will give you the 3 criteria I look for in a successful topic, and the free tools you can use to research these criteria. In step 2, creation, I'm going to show you how you can get your own blog online with your very own domain name and WordPress blogging software installed in just a few clicks and about 10 minutes of your time. If you have ever signed up for an email or social media account, then you already have all the technical skills you need. In step 3, beautification, I will show you how you can use free WordPress themes to make the blog look the way you want. I will also show you the WordPress theme I use for my successful network of blogs and why I use it. In step 4, construction, we're going to put together all of the basic building blocks of your blog, like contact us, forms, legal disclaimers, and more. I will also show you how to add content posts to your blog that are Google ready. In step 5, monetization, I'm going to show you several ways you can monetize your blog traffic. I will also show you what you can do to monetize right out of the gate, as well as how the most popular websites and blogs on the internet are monetizing their traffic. In step 6, promotion, we're going to talk about the one thing that everyone wants to know, how to get traffic on their website and build a following. I'm going to explain the mental cycle and pitfalls that every new blogger goes through that keeps them from getting a steady stream of eager readers. We're going to discuss free traffic and paid traffic, and the secret sauce about what it really takes to grow your blog. The last thing I wanted to discuss before we dive right in is the cost associated with everything you need to get your blog started using these 6 steps. you're going to need number 1, a domain name. This is the name people are going to use to access your blog. My domain name is createablogtonight.com. Your domain could be called IamAnAwesomeBlogger.com or .net or .org, etc. Some other names you may have heard for this term is web address or URL. The cost for a domain name is $15 a year. That is a great price to own your very own piece of the digital real estate on the internet. Number 2, hosting. To run a blog, all you really need is a computer that has access to the internet. You could install WordPress on your laptop and make it available to the internet if you really wanted to. While it would technically work, you don't want to dedicate your personal devices to running your blog, so we're going to rent someone else's really fast computers or servers instead. Let them take care of all that stuff. When you are shopping for a web hosting provider, there are 3 things that you want from their service. Number 1 is fast and reliable servers. Number 2 is friendly and helpful support. And number 3 is a great, affordable price. I've used about a dozen web hosting providers since 2002. Most of them had 2 out of the 3 items down pretty well, but I only found one that had all 3. So in step 2, I will show you who this web hosting provider is. I fell in love with them back in 2010, and I've been using them ever since. I currently have 5 blogs running on their platform, and the new blog from this video will be number 6. They also have a web hosting package made specifically for blogging using WordPress. It is very fast and easy to manage. Everything is set up for you as soon as you complete the sign-up form. The cost is $14.95 a month, which is a steal considering the cost for the enterprise class server hardware, data storage, and internet connection this hosting company uses would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to maintain on our own. Number 3 is WordPress software. WordPress is the gold standard for blogging because it is free and has thousands of plugins and themes that let you have a professional website platform with virtually no writing code. If you can write an email or a Word document, then you can run your very own blog with WordPress. Number 4, logo. I will show you how to create a professional logo for free, and I will also show you how you can have a graphic designer create you one for about $80. Number 5, you will also need your talent and hard work, which of course is priceless. To make it even better, I've arranged with a hosting company to give my viewers 60% off of their service when they use the coupon CREATE60OFF at checkout. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below in the video, or you can email me directly at info@createablogtonight.com. I love hearing from new bloggers, and I will use your questions to make more videos and live streams. Remember that sharing is caring. Help me reach as many people as I can looking to start a new blog by liking and sharing this video. Don't miss the follow-up videos in this series by subscribing to my channel. Are you ready? Let's get started. The first thing you want to do to create a successful blog is to go through a thorough planning and research phase. And there's 3 steps to planning your blog. First, brainstorm up to 10 authoritative topics. Second, test your topics that you come up with for their viability. And third, select your final topic and then your domain name. When you come up with your brainstorm list of topics, think of your passions, your hobbies, training you've received, work-related experience, and your expertise. Think about topics you could easily write about on a daily or weekly basis, and then write them down into a list. Once you have a list of topics, it's time to test them for their viability. You want to check each and every one of these topics for 3 things: their popularity, commerciality, and longevity. Now let's talk about popularity. Are there people looking for content in this topic? The last thing you want to do is create a blog that no one's going to come and visit. So a few things that you can do to check for the popularity of your topic is look for the volume of search engine traffic. I like to make sure there's at least 10,000 searches per month in Google. The sweet spot for me is 10,000 to 50,000 searches a month. You can also look for magazines and books being published in this topic. You can also look for online forums and discussion boards around your topic. These are all great ways to see that this is something people are actually looking for, that they want to find your blog. There's a great free tool that you can use to look for search engine volume traffic in Google every month, and that is Ubersuggest, and you can find it at ubersuggest.io. So in this tool, we'll type in a keyword for one of the topics that I'm interested in looking at. So you can see here that the estimated monthly search volume for this keyword or this topic is 14,800. That's great. The other thing that I like to look for in this tool is the SEO difficulty. My sweet spot is over 10,000 searches a month and a difficulty score of under 35. Anything that's got over 35, I consider that the no-go zone. As a brand new blog, you might have some hard time going up against some stiff competition. Another great way to gauge the popularity of a topic is to find an existing website or blog in that topic and put it into similarweb.com to see how much traffic it gets every month. So for this website, backyardchickens.com, their estimate for traffic in March of 2019 was 2.2 million. So there's definitely some interest going on in this topic. The second thing I test a potential topic for is its commerciality. Will this topic generate income? Unfortunately, the internet doesn't run on free hugs anymore. It's important to recuperate your operating costs, and it's nice to have some extra money coming in every month. So a way that you can check a commerciality for a topic is to see if there's affiliate programs and products being sold around the topic. You can also look and see how much Google is making per click in their advertising programs for the keywords in your topics. One of the most popular affiliate programs on the internet is the Amazon Associates program. You can see that they will pay up to 10% commission to blog owners who advertise Amazon products on their blog. So I can see in Amazon there's backyard chicken related items that I could easily put ads for on my blog if I were to choose this topic. Another popular affiliate program on the internet is ClickBank. Now they're a Boise-based company in my hometown, and they are a marketplace for digital products like ebooks and software. In their affiliate program, they pay blog owners who advertise their digital products a commission of the sale. You can see I found digital products related to my topic that have commissions of up to $20.79. Google itself is another great way to gauge the commerciality of a topic. You can see here that for the keyword phrase buy a chicken coop, this website is running an ad. If you want to know how much this company has to pay for that particular ad, you can go back to Ubersuggest. So the keyword phrase is buy a chicken coop, and if we put that into Ubersuggest, you can see that the average cost per click in Google for that ad is 60 cents. So after reviewing the available products being sold in this market for this topic, looking at the affiliate programs and products available, and looking at the advertising fees that Google's charging, it definitely looks like this particular topic has some commerciality. The third test that you want to put your potential topics through is longevity. Will the content you write for this topic still be relevant years after it's published? Now, what is evergreen content versus flash in the pan content? Now, as the name implies, evergreen is like a pine tree. You can write the content once and it'll be useful and relevant to the reader no matter when they read it, for years to come. Flash in the pan content, the usefulness of that content that you'll be putting on your blog has an expiration date, time sensitive. If you choose to go with a flash in the pan content plan, that means you're going to be constantly writing things over and over again to keep up. Now here's some evergreen examples: pets, diet and exercise, beauty, food, gardening, sports, relationships. Flash in the pan examples include celebrity news, fashion trends, pop culture fads, news articles, so forth. Now, while flash in the pan examples do have a lot of popularity, just know that if you decide to start your blog in one of these areas, that you're going to have to be constantly chasing trends. And speaking of trends, Google Trends is an amazing tool to check the staying power and the longevity of a topic. Let me show you. To get to Google Trends, just go to Google itself and simply type trends and click the first result that comes up. Now, this is a really fascinating tool. Now, Google makes public all kinds of information about what's being searched. They don't give you any, exact numbers about how many searches are taking place, but the trends are really amazing. So right on the home page, you can see some trending topics. So let me show you what an evergreen topic looks like in this tool. I'm going to go into the search box and type golf. Golf is something that's always going to be popular. And by default, it shows you the search volume trends for the last 12 months. I'm going to set this for the last 5 years. And you can see, going back to 2014, that there's a steady flow of search being done in Google for golf. Now you can see that it wanes during different parts of the year. Looks like December is its low part, and then it peaks in the summertime. But this is steady. You can see that you can write for the golf topic, and there will always be people looking for that type of information in Google. You can even use this tool to compare your topic ideas right next to each other. We'll just type in another popular one, weight loss. So right off the bat, you can see that, wow, golf gets a lot more search traffic than weight loss, but that weight loss trend is really steady too. You can see it peaking there in January, right around New Year's resolution. Let's take off golf and dig deeper into that weight loss. See, a nice, steady, predictable trend line. Now, what you want to avoid is having a trend line that looks like something that was total flash in the pan. Well, take a look at the trend line for something that was here today and gone tomorrow, fidget spinner. See, this is what you want to avoid. If you put the topic you're thinking about starting your blog around and it looks like this, then step away. So it's absolutely critical that before you create a blog that you're hitting the right topic. Get that brainstorming list, go through all 3 of these steps for each one, and then make your final selection. Based on all the research that I did in preparation for this video, I'm going to go with the backyard chickens topic. It's a really big hobby of mine and in my family, so I know that I'm going to have some people to help me with this blog. It's fun. I can really speak to it, and we're going to talk about why that's important later in this video. And I really liked how everything looked in the research phase that I did. In step 3 in your planning phase, select your topic and then pick your domain name. Now there's really 4 types of domain names. One is to launch with your personal name, have a personal brand. And some examples would be parishilton.com or drudgereport.com. Or you can develop a brand name and register a domain name with that brand. Examples are techcrunch.com, gizmodo.com, mashable.com. Third example is to pick a keyword-rich domain name. That way people know what the topic of your blog is going to be out just from the name. An example would be backyardchickenshq.com. So these all work really great. Personal name blogs work the best if it's just going to be a single person. Maybe you have a personal brand built around your expertise. Brand names work best if you're going to be working as a group or form a small company. Keyword-rich domain names work great, especially for getting found in Google. However, the one thing that you have to be careful of is not to get yourself locked into a topic too tight that you won't be able to expand it into another topic later. And I always recommend that you stick with the top level domain suffix like .com, .net, or .org. Now, of course, you're always going to want to check and see if a domain name is available for registration. The best tool I've found over the years to see if a domain name is available is by doing a whois lookup on a domaintools.com. So here's what that looks like. So if we type in google.com, we can see that it's whois record. And we can see, of course, it's already registered. So now I'll show you what a whois record looks like for something that's never been registered before. That way you know you're good to go. Backyardchickens.com. I'm just kind of making this up. Okay, if it's never been registered before, it'll tell you right on the whois record. So this one's for sale and you're good to go. I know it can be really aggravating trying to come up with a really good domain name. You come up with an idea and it's usually already registered. So a really great tool to get domain name suggestions is namemesh.com. So let me show you how this thing works. They tout themselves as being the domain suggestion tool for perfectionists. So I think that's pretty funny, and their tool is really good. Let's take a little look-see here. So we're going to put in a few keywords, chicken coop, see what it comes up with. Okay, and so it tells you that chickencoop.com is not available, imagine that, and there's a whois lookup. And then here's all of their suggestions that you can use as a springboard to come up with a really great domain name. So for my new blog this year, I picked a keyword-rich domain name, backyardchickenshq.com. And the last part of our preparation phase is actually coming up with a logo for our new blog. Now, I always recommend that you order from a professional graphic designer. It always works out better that way. And I'm on Fiverr.com, and you can see that there's all kinds of people that are willing to create a website logo for you. And there's some really good looking logos out here starting at just $5, $10. Now, if you go to my website, createablogtonight.com, that's got the notes that go along with this workshop, I'll actually link over to the logo designer on Fiverr that I use for all my projects. It's about $80 to $100. They do a great job and they do it really fast. But I've used multiple graphic designers in Fiverr and I've always been happy with their work. Now, while I always recommend that you save yourself a bunch of hassle and headache by paying someone to come up with a great logo, I know there's going to be some of you watching this video who just want to do it yourself. Either you don't have the $100 or you want to be able to do it for yourself because you want to know what it's like to go through that process, which I can appreciate because I've, at different points in time in my life, I've been in both of those situations. Sometimes you feel both of those at the same time. There's a really great tool for graphic design that's free at canva.com. So if you create an account there, you can go in here and create a design. And I'm actually going to make a quick logo just to show you how easy it can be sometimes to come up with something pretty cool. So out of their options, I'm going to pick logo. And on the left side, they've got all these different templates that you can use as a starting point. And here's one that kind of jumped out at me. Okay, so there's my template. So what I'm going to do is change this text here. Oop, starting to drag. Okay, I'm going to click ungroup up here so I can change the text. And ready roadster, I'm going to make that backyard chicken HQ, and I'm going to get rid of automobiles, and I'm going to split this up by changing the color here. Pick that same red that came in that default. Nice. Okay, I don't need a car. So I'm going to move this over a little bit. Then if you come over here to elements, you can search for items. Let's look for a chicken. Yeah, look, it's free. Quite like that. Make it the same size. There. Maybe center it a little bit. Yeah, and there you go. So then when you're happy with that, you can download it. And then you just download it to your hard drive. All right, now we're going to get into the fun part. We are going to get this blog online. So with one sign-up form, we're going to register the domain name that we picked and get our web hosting account set up. And so I'm going to use HostGator. Now let's talk about web hosting for a little bit. There's three things that you want from your hosting provider. You want fast servers, number one. You want great support. So if something goes wrong, are they going to help you out? And you want it at a great price. Some web hosting companies out there have got some of those. I've found that HostGator's got all three. So that's who I use to build my blogs on, and that's who I recommend. And they've got hosting accounts specifically for WordPress. So we're going to pick their WordPress cloud hosting. The starter plan is just fine. So let me show you what this sign-up form looks like, okay? Right, so we're going to start by putting in our domain. And it's important that you spell it right, or you're going to have the wrong domain name. Don't worry about typing in the .com or .net, whatever. Use the drop-down. And they're going to try to do some upsells on the domain name. They're going to ask you, hey, do you want all of these? I don't know what the advantage of that is. And they're going to ask you if you want privacy protection on your domain. And let me show you what that looks like. If you take it off, if you go with their domain privacy, when someone looks up the owner of your domain, it'll block it. It'll just show HostGator. It's protecting your personal information. If you don't get this privacy protection, it'll show up with your actual information. So let me show you a real life example of what this domain registration information looks like. If you go to a Whois lookup tool, like on domain tools, type in google.com, it brings up that domain registration record. It shows when it was created, and it'll show technical contacts. Basically, do you want your information to show up here, or do you just want it to be really generic? So I'm going to leave that up to you. I recommend it if you want to keep that information private. The other thing too is spammers look for email addresses to send emails to on these Whois records, so it's a good thing to have. On your billing cycle, do you want to pay all 3 years up front? I would say just go a month at a time. You don't get that super neat $5.95 a month, but $15 for what you're getting is really good. Also, set up a security pin. Obviously, don't use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But what this pin is for is, let's say you call them up because you have a question about your bill, or you're having a problem with the website. When you contact them, they're going to prompt you for that security pin. That way they know it's really you that's calling in. It's really great. Then, of course, you put in your billing information. You can put in a credit card or a PayPal, whichever works best for you. If If you've got a tax ID, you can put it in, but you don't have to. Now, this is what I really like about HostGator. They're covering all your bases. You're getting a SSL certificate so you can have a secure website, take credit card payments, all that sort of thing. You get some site protection from hackers, and you get free backups. And that is amazing because your blog will change over time. If you ever need to go back and because maybe you made a change to your website and it broke it, you've got backups. It's awesome. They've already got a coupon code, and so you can see what you're in for just to get out the gate. If the $45 is a little too much, let's break this down a little bit. The domain registration is $15, and that's per year. $14.95 is a monthly fee just to have the hosting account, and then the add-on was that domain registration. So if you need to save a few bucks, you can take off the domain registration, and you're in at $30.94 today, $14.95 every month. Then you agree to their terms and conditions. Check out now, and it'll get the ball rolling, and you'll get an email with a login into your account. Now, if you've gotten value out of today's video, will you please do me a favor and use the coupon CREATE60 off on your purchase with HostGator? Not only will this coupon give you 60% off your purchase, but I'll get a small commission fee for referring you to HostGator. And I'm going to use this to build up this channel, make more content and live streams to give you progress updates on this blog that we're building in this workshop, as well as answer your questions. Okay, it's been a couple hours since I finished that HostGator registration, and the way that you can test to make sure that it's done is by actually going to the domain name that you registered, and you should see a WordPress site there. So let's go ahead and type in the domain name that I registered here. And you see I've got a brand new blog about plants. Okay, so I'm not doing a blog about plants, but I can tell that WordPress is installed. See, just another WordPress site, and you can see that it put in a test post for me. We got a fully functional blog here. Unfortunately, it's not about backyard chickens, and it doesn't have any of my posts in it. But what's really cool is just to get to this stage, even just a couple of years ago would have been a 2-hour YouTube video just to get this. So we are well on our way. That's why I recommend this HostGator WordPress optimized hosting, because just after a sign-up form, boom, you're ready to go. So now we want to make this blog our own. We want to get out of this default mode, and to do that, we're actually going to log in to the HostGator customer portal. So to do that, you go to hostgator.com, and you click here on customer login. We're going to pick the customer portal login. We're going to type in the email address that we registered our HostGator account with. Okay, so this is what I call the mothership. This is where you manage everything with HostGator, whether it's your billing. If you need to contact support, you can start a chat with them here, which is nifty. I've done this quite a few times. Their support's really good. And this is how you get to your WordPress admin, where you actually control the WordPress software, put in your posts, modify how it looks, and all that sort of thing. Cache settings. I'm not going to go too deep into all of these tiles, but I'll at least give you a heads up on what they are. Cache makes WordPress faster, so there's settings there that you can adjust. Here you can go ahead and set up email accounts. What's really cool is my domain name, backyardchickenshq.com. I can make email addresses with that domain so they're branded. I won't have to rely on Gmail or Yahoo, that sort of thing. Now this tile is danger. never click this because it's going to blow everything away. Funny story about deleting things, so you can learn from one of my mistakes. Back in 2006, I had a website about chopper motorcycles, one of my interests. And there wasn't a whole lot of websites about it at the time. That whole West Coast choppers and American choppers show was really big. I was excited about it. I was getting owners of custom motorcycles posting their pictures. It was really great. And then I had to do a software update, and it totally hosed the database. And I didn't have a backup, and I just said, well, forget about it. Yeah, I don't have a backup. I can't recreate it. It's hosed. Don't do that. Just don't delete your work. Just keep it going. I look back 14 years later, and I'm like, man, I wish I still had that site. So be very, very careful with this tile. CodeGuard is your backup. Kind of fitting that we just went over that story. So this is where you can make backups of your WordPress blog, and I highly recommend that you go in and configure that. It'll do it automatically for you. Site lock gives you some extra protection. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol, so if you need to get files up into the server that's running this WordPress site, you can do it through FTP. I doubt you'll ever need to use it. SSL, Secure Socket Layers. This makes your website HTTPS instead of HTTP. This is what will make those annoying, scary warnings that web browsers give nowadays. So this is a good thing. Google likes that your blog has SSL and it's managed here. So that's what each of these tiles are all about. I really want to focus on making your blog, getting content up there, because that's the most important part. HostGator can help you with a lot of these things. I'm going to really focus on the WordPress admin now, because that's where all the magic happens. And before we go in and change this blog from a plant, very succulent looking blog, into what I'm actually going to be creating and promoting, I want an email address set up. So let's go ahead and click into email accounts and get that all set up here. Okay, so you can see no email accounts exist, so let's click create account. And this is a beautiful wizard too, because believe me, on a Linux server, it's a pain to set up email accounts sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and create info at backyardchickenshq.com. Let's say that one fast 10 times, huh? Quota, you can limit how much space an email address can take on your server. So let's say that you set up multiple email accounts. You don't want to take up all the space that that come with your monthly subscriptions. You can limit it to how much space that they're using. Those are called the quotas. I'm just going to leave it unlimited. I don't care about quotas right now. So I'm going to put in a super secret secure password. Okay, I like the password strength. And then just click create account. Okay, so it's successfully created the email account. If you need to access the email, just come over here whenever you want. Hover over this user icon and you'll see it says open webmail. So in a new tab, we can access a webmail client. There's other tutorials out there. I might make another video on this showing you how to connect your Outlook up to this mail account, but this is the Horde webmail. So it works just like any other webmail I'm sure you've used before. It's not as sophisticated as like Gmail, but it does the job. So I'm just going to email myself as a test. Refresh my inbox, and there you go. Fully functional webmail account. All right, let's go ahead and drill deeper into this WordPress admin. I'm going to actually launch this in a new tab. I want to keep the HostGator dashboard and my WordPress admin open at the same time. And this is where all the magic happens. This will get you into the door. The WordPress admin is where you're going to really control your blog. So here it is, our lovely WordPress dashboard. Now, a brand new WordPress blog is a lot like buying a brand new computer. You got to do some cleanup. They're not always up to date, and there's always some extra junk in here. You can see some of these banners and things. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure we've got the latest version of WordPress installed. Now, this is really important that you always keep up to date. That way you're eliminating some opportunities for people to hack in and jack up your blog. Never good. So we're going to go ahead and update this version to 5.1.1. It's going to run through a little installer. And there we go. Welcome to WordPress 5.1.1. It's awesome. Let's go back to the dashboard. All right, then the next thing we're going to do is uninstall some plugins that we don't necessarily need. So here's our list of all the plugins that are installed right now. And I'm going to go ahead and deactivate some of these. The ones that I don't want or need. I'm going to deactivate everything except this Keysmet and WP Super Cache. We want those. We're just going to check the ones that I just deactivated so I can delete them. You have to deactivate them before you can delete them. So if we go up to bulk actions here and delete, we can do it all at the same time. Bye-bye. And go back to the home page of the dashboard, and that looks so much cleaner. Now they're prompting you about personal data and privacy. They're just reminding you, don't forget to have a privacy policy. We're going to go over that. So we'll just dismiss that and we won't get that pop up anymore. All right, now there's some settings that we need to adjust. So if you go on this left side on the main menu and go to settings, let's take a look at some of these general settings. I'm going to get rid of that tagline first of all. Don't necessarily like that. I want my address to have www in it. So I'm going to put that in both of these fields. And I'm going to take out that default email address and put in the nifty branded one that I created earlier. See how well I typed. Yes. Okay, like that. Time zone. I'm going to go ahead and pick my area. Where's the Americas section? There we go. Boise. Date format. I like that date format. I like that time format. The week for me begins on Sunday. Now we're going to go ahead and save these changes, and it's going to boot us out of the dashboard. Now it booted us out because now it's trying to get to the dashboard on this www.backyardchickenshq.com, and so it wants us to log back in. Now, funny thing is, HostGator's got the username and password here built into their dashboard. Now, I'll show you how to go in and make a user so you can log in this way too, but right now there isn't another one, and they don't give you that password. So we're just going to close this tab, go back to our HostGator dashboard and launch the WordPress admin again, and we'll get right back in this time. Please wait. All right, so we're back into the WordPress dashboard. So let's go ahead and make ourselves a new user. So here's the admin. Don't change the password on this, because then the HostGator WordPress admin tile will break. So keep that there. And let's go ahead and add a new user. So I'll make a user called Chris, and I will put my branded email address in there. Lovely. And I'm not going to send myself a notification. I'm going to make myself an administrator. And instead of that crazy password, how about something like this? Okay, confirm the use of a weak password. All right. Now if we go up here and log out, now we should be able to log in with that new user that I just made. Okay, so I just showed you 2 ways that you can get in to your WordPress admin. You can come to the HostGator dashboard, launch it here, or you can come to this URL, backyardchickenshq.com/wp-admin. So hope that's not terribly confusing. I just didn't want to have you go through your WordPress life and not see how to get in both ways, because if you read more information about WordPress down the road, you'll see people talking about logging into the WordPress admin through this WP-admin. So I just want to make sure that you saw that. All right, cool. So there's one more setting we're going to get done, and that's our permalink. So right now it's set to a custom structure, and what this means is when I add a blog post, it's going to give it a URL of backyardchickenshq.com/the year, /the month, / and then the post name. I don't really like that. I just want to take all this mumbo jumbo out and just have the post name. So I'm going to pick that one. It's really, really important that once you pick your permalink structure that you never change it moving forward, because then it's going to break all of your URLs. And that means anything you posted out on Facebook, Pinterest, what Google's found, it'll all change, and you don't want that. Just stick with post name and don't ever change it, and you'll be good. Right on. We'll save that change, and our permalink structure is nice and updated. Now let's go ahead and turn our attention back to the plugins, and let's go ahead and add the plugins that we do want to use. So we took the ones out that we don't want. Let me show you what we're going to use for this blog project. So what I'm going to do is just show you how to install a plugin, and then with the magic of video editing, I'm going to speed this up and then show you the list of plugins that I'm going to use without making you sit here and watch it all. So I'll give you a full list of all the plugins, but the way you do it is you type in the name of it into the search box here. And once you see it, click this Install Now. You'll see a little progress. And then once it's installed, click Activate. And it'll take you back to the plugins master list. So I'm going to go ahead and install all of the plugins that we want, and you can watch this as I speed it up. Alright, so there's our list of plugins that we're going to use moving forward. I'm using all free plugins. And instead of going through each one by one to explain what it does, we're actually going to be going through all these as we go through the video. So we got our plugin list ready. Okay, now we're really going to get into the beautification. And we're going to talk about WordPress themes. I think the part about WordPress that's made it so popular. Now you can make a WordPress site look virtually any way you want. And there's so many themes that you can download for free or pay 50 to 100 bucks for. The sky's the limit. You can have the exact website that you want and without writing any code. And that's what I think has made WordPress so popular and why I recommend it and why I love building on it. So what we're looking at right now is my blog with the default theme that comes installed with WordPress. If you go back into the dashboard and under Appearance and go to Themes, you'll see that we already have several that we can choose from that are there just waiting for us. And WordPress comes out with their own default theme every year. So here's the 2019 one. So we can go ahead and activate that. And then if we refresh our website, you can see that the look and the feel of the website has changed. So if we go back in here, what was the one from 2015 like? It had a totally different look. 2016 is a really interesting theme, and I recommend this one to people a lot if they really get stuck. Now I'm going to talk about what I look for in themes, what I found to be successful and get really good engagement from website visitors and readers, is to have as much white space as possible. Now it sounds really funny because it's so plain looking, but I know of a few websites out on the web that run ads all over the place, like on CNN and Fox News and MSNBC, and they have little blogs about drones and gadgets, and they make probably tens of thousands of dollars every month, and they use this WordPress 2016 theme. Like they don't do anything fancy. So my recommendation is to not get too hung up on your theme. Keep it simple. Most successful websites that I've seen keep it very, very simple. In fact, some of the most popular websites on the entire internet are not only simple, but they're kind of ugly. So the cool part is, in this beautification phase, I'm going to show you how I make the website or the blog look the way I want it to. And I'm going to show you how you can make it adapt to how you want it to look and feel too. So if we go back to the main control panel for our themes, I'm going to show you something I think is really interesting. We're going to click Add New. And this is like a portal into something that I think is really amazing. This might sound a little sappy, but I started learning HTML back in 2002. I remember when WordPress first came out back in 2003, and I remember just being so floored. Like, just installing this software on your web hosting account, you could have this website or this blog that would normally just take you weeks to just write by hand, and it was so cool. And you could make your own theme and change it up on how it looked, and there weren't a lot of themes out there, but just over time there's just been so many great themes made available to the community from WordPress developers and just the community in general. And I think it's just a credit to how wonderful and sharing and the humanity can be sometimes. And I know that might kind of sound sappy, but if you're just experimenting with this for the first time, there's a lot of benefit, and it's just been a real joy to watch it grow and change and evolve over time. And just right off the bat, look here, we got 8 themes just waiting, ready to go. And you can just really take time and find exactly what you're looking for. The other thing that's nice is that you can, if you know how to code, you can go in and really adapt it to how you want it to be. One of the small downsides about some of these WordPress themes is a lot of the times you're really locked into how that theme developer set it up. So customizations can be hard on some themes. I know I found over time that I found one theme that had 90% of what I wanted, and then another theme that had that missing 10%, and it was just next to impossible to marry it up. That happens from time to time, so you're not going to find perfection. But I'm going to show you the WordPress theme that is my go-to, and that is a theme called GeneratePress. It is by far the most flexible theme that I found. They found a quick and easy way just with a few clicks, like modifying almost every element of the page. And if I scroll down, you can look at their gallery, and just with one WordPress theme, GeneratePress, they've been able to develop all these different variations. There's almost something for everybody here. And I'm going to give you a preview. My preference in the blog and how I'm going to make this particular one look is a lot like this pixel variation. It's white, lots of white space in the background. It's clean, got some nice visual elements to it. But say you want to have like a header at the top, you can totally make it happen. This is all done with GeneratePress, just with different variations of it. So some other themes that I've worked with over the years that I really like is Sparkling is a really great theme. It's free, it's really clean. If you're really into the geeky design styles, it's like a flat UI style. It's got a nice little featured image slider. I really like Sparkling. It's really great for a free theme. Another good one is Extra. This one works really well for blogging. This one isn't free, however, but it comes off as a really nice looking blog. But I'm going to go ahead and run with GeneratePress. I actually have the premium edition. I paid $50 to get some extra features, so I'm going to show you how those work in this video. Don't feel like you have to do it. Even the free version of GeneratePress is a totally great way to go. So we can just install it right here from the search. Type in GeneratePress, it should come up here. There it is. And we just click the install button and activate. Okay, so now it's set as my active theme, and it's not going to look like much now because I don't have any content loaded, but that's your default GeneratePress without it configured. So the other thing I'm going to go ahead and do is get rid of these WordPress default ones. It's a good security practice to remove themes that you're not using, because they can actually be used to hack in and jack up your site. Don't want that. And I'm actually going to do a little bit advanced feature, but I'm going to add my own customizations to what's called a child theme. And I'll do another video about child themes. But this lets me put all my customizations onto my own theme without updating the master code, so that way I can keep this nice and fresh and up to date, and it won't overwrite my customizations. And then I'm also going to install the premium version of GeneratePress by uploading it as a plugin. Okay, so now I've got the GeneratePress Premium installed. Let me show you what that does for you. Under Appearance now I've got GeneratePress settings. And these are all just areas of the website that I can change, like the background, the colors, the menu, the page header, all with a click without having to write any code. And I am all about that. So let's go ahead and activate all of these. Again, this is part of the premium GeneratePress, but I want my blog to rock and roll. And for $50, I know it's going to help me get there. So it's totally worth it. Alright, so let me show you what's cool about these WordPress themes. If you go under Appearance and go to Customize, let me show you some of the magic of Generate Press. Off to this right side, it's going to give us a preview of how it looks right now. Now, if someone was to access your website, they wouldn't see these blue pencil edit icons. That just means that's an element of the page that you can edit here. So let's start with the colors. Let's say that the background color, let's say you want to make it blue, or you want it to be that default gray, or what if you want it to be white? And here's another cool tip. If you go to colorcombos.com, you can find all kinds of cool color switches. Say we want to base our website on this blue. We can find all these different color combos and say that we really like this swatch. It gives us all the hex codes that you can use to put into your customizer. So let's say we want that. Yeah, I don't think I'd use that as the background, but just showing you how flexible it is. Yeah, let's stick with white for this demonstration because that's what I like. Then let's say you want that main menu, say you want it to be that blue color. Or say you want it to be this blue color. Okay, so then your menu's changed. Yeah, so that's colors. Well, how about the layout? Maybe you don't like how the header and this menu is stretching 100%. Maybe you only want it to be a certain width. Well, you can change it to being contained. And there's all different kinds of things that you can change. Then if you hit publish here, everything that you've edited, if we go back here to the live website, refresh, it's been updated. It's that simple, no code. So you can really get crazy with this, get what you want, and you can use this site library from Generate Press to give you a starting point. But I have my own starting point. Let me show you why I get the premium edition, because you can import your own settings. So I have my own starting point. I already know that every time I build a blog, I want it to look a certain way, and so I've got all of my little tweaks saved into an import file. So I can just bring this guy in here, import it, and without taking the time to go through every single element, I know that it's going to look the way that I want. To me, my time, that was worth the $50. So you can see what these settings look like that I just imported. Okay, so here's what my default settings, the way I want every blog that I make to start out by looking. The last blog I made had a green thing going on, so that's the one last thing that I need to fix. So let's go into colors and link color, and I'm gonna go with the little red motif. Oop. For chickens, kind of like from that logo that we made. And that's the body. Navigation. Alright, I think I got all the green out. Alright. Then the last thing that I need to do is under site identity, we're going to put a logo in here. So we're going to select the logo that we made in the very first part of the video. And in this title, I'm going to put my site name. And put it in the alt text and description. Skip cropping. Oops. All right. So now if we go back to the live website, you can see it's starting to come together now. So that's going to be my theme. It's going to look a lot more cool as the video progresses, but that is our theme. See, the other thing I thought would be cool is to show you like how interchangeable these themes are. I thought I'd switch from the generate press over to that the color lib sparkling theme, because I really like that one. Okay, so let's go back to appearance and themes. Let's do add a new theme and type in sparkling, install. Activate. So we're switching over to it instead of that generate press. Now let's refresh the website. Boom. So it put in that sparkling theme, and then we could customize it to put the logo in there. Okay, so now we can change that logo. Now every WordPress theme is a little different, so we're going to come under header image for this one. We'll pick our logo again, and you know what, let's actually crop it this time just to match it up with this particular theme. Now this logo has a transparent background if I remember right, so it should just slide in there nicely. Oh, except my logo doesn't have white lettering, so you do need to have your theme in mind when you're creating your logo. Then if you want to see what a post would look like. Cool. So yeah, if I use this theme, I'd go back to Canva, make that lettering white and make it a little smaller, but just want to give you an idea what it's like to flip around between these themes. So if we go back, exit out of the customizer and put the generate press child theme back, activate it, because that's what we're going to use for the rest of the video workshop here. Nice. So if you're enjoying the content so far, what I'd like you to do is go down, give this video a like, and if you're planning on doing this, which I highly recommend, I want you to share this video so you can start a blog with somebody else. It makes it so much easier. You guys can kick butt together. So I hope you're enjoying it so far. We're going to move into the next step, the construction phase. Okay, so now we're going to start assembling the parts of our blog. And the first piece that we're going to deal with are pages. And before we get too far into that, let's talk about the difference between posts and pages. Posts are where you put your regularly updated content. So say we started a blog about training for a marathon. Every time we wanted to give an update on our marathon training, we would make a new post. Pages are where you put static content on your blog that never changes. Things about your contact information, things about your bio. And there's also some legal pages that we're going to take care of. Those go under pages. Here we got on the left side under the main menu pages. Here's a sample page. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that. And we're going to add a new page. You can either click the link here on the left or the add new button up here. And we're going to start with an About Us page. And this is actually one of the most popularly visited pages on all of my existing blogs. So it's important to include this. So when new people come to your website, they want to learn all about you. So I've went ahead and put together just a quick biography. I'm going to be enhancing this as we go, but I wanted to at least get something started. And I'm going to add an image as well. So click Add Media, Upload, and I'm just going to include a quick picture of my little chicken flock. So it's uploading this picture from my computer up to WordPress up on the HostGator servers. Okay, and so that picture uploaded. I'm just going to put a quick little title here, My Little Flock. My little Rhode Island Reds and Buff Orpington hens. Size, I'll just put the medium size in there and click this Insert into Page button. That's smaller than I thought it would be. Let's edit that. Let's make it large. There we go. Like that. Okay, once I'm happy with the text and the image, I'm gonna click the Publish button. And this means it's going live out onto the public version of the website. So if you want to preview it, now here's the permalinks. You see how it made backyardchickenshq.com/aboutus. It took the title and made it the permalink. And that's my preview. I'm just going to right click and open in a new tab. And there it is. So it's pretty easy to make a page. I'm going to go back in and make the next one. So here's my master list, add new. I'm going to make a contact us page. And I've got a little bit of text for that. This one isn't going to have a whole lot of text on it, but I'm going to add a contact us form. And to do that, I'm going to use one of the plugins that we installed and activated earlier. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. So we're going to go ahead and publish this page. So if you click the permalink, and you'll see that it's got the text that I added in there, but there's no form yet. Now without plugins, I'd have to code that. That's kind of a bummer. It would take a couple hours to code a PHP form, the programming language that WordPress has been developed in. But instead, I'm just going to go into my plugins. If you remember, we installed the Contact Form 7 plugin. So they've already done the PHP coding. So we're going to go ahead and configure a form real quick. We'll just go under here to Contact and go to Existing Contact Forms, and there's already one made. If you want to see what it looks like, click Edit. So this form is going to prompt the person to put in their name, email address, subject, and message, and then it has a send button. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm just going to copy what's called a shortcode, copy, and go back to my Contact Us page that we just made, edit, and I'm going to just paste that right in there. Put in the shortcode. And now if I look on the public viewable version of this page, it's got a nice little contact form there. We can even test it. Chris at WordPress.com, test and test. All right, thank you for your message. It has been sent. So I like that. I can give a quick form to people visiting my website that want to send some feedback, and I didn't have to write any code. So that's what plugins are all about. Love it. For our next group of pages, I want to have a quick little discussion about legal stuff and give you a little legal disclaimer. So anytime you enter into some sort of commercial venture like starting a blog or a website, you always want to have your legal bases covered. Now, I'm not an attorney, so take this information as is, but I went out and I met with an attorney when I first started building websites, just to make sure what I needed to have and disclosed on my website, and I had them write the legal verbiage for me. So I'm going to leave that up to you. I highly recommend it. But to get started, you at least want to have a privacy policy, terms of service, and if you're going to be advertising, doing any type of affiliate programs, you want to have an affiliate disclosure. That way people that come to your blog know that some of the things that you're recommending that give you a commission. That way it's straightforward and it's not a big surprise, and it's really important that you have that in place. So luckily there's a free WordPress plugin that we installed a little bit earlier in the video that's going to help us get all this set up. So we're going to go under here, WP Auto Terms, and we're going to add some legal pages. Okay, so let's start by creating a privacy policy. It's already put in our website URL, website name. I'm going to pick the United States. My state is Idaho. Company name, we'll leave that. Can users create an account on your website? No. What type of personal information do I collect? Name, email address. That's from the contact form that we just made. Do you show ads with Google AdSense on your website? Not yet, but I will eventually. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes there. If required by law or subpoena, will you disclose personal information of users to law enforcement agents? Yes, if it's with a subpoena. Click create, and it's going to, boom, make us a nice little privacy policy, and I'm going to click publish to make that available on the website. Sweet. All right, let's add the next legal page, terms and conditions, or terms of service. Some people call it all different kinds of things. We'll roll with terms and conditions here. All right, same kind of thing. We're going to go through this setup wizard, United States and Idaho. Can users create an account? No. Do you want to make it clear that your own content and trademarks are your exclusive property? Yes. Do you want to be able to terminate access to certain users? Yes. For any material changes to the terms and conditions, you should notify users in advance. How many days notice will you provide before the new terms and conditions become effective? I'll go with their recommendation, 30 days notice. Do you want to limit your liability providing your website on an as is and as available basis? Yes. Create. Again, consult an attorney if you have any questions about what any of that means. Click publish. And I'm going to add one more that's not one of their canned ones. It's a custom one. Affiliate disclosure. And my text for that is here. A lot of times the actual affiliate programs that you're working with will provide this for you. So I'll just go ahead and publish that. And then if you go to all legal pages, you'll see that we've got all three of them here set up, and we can click this view to open in a new tab and take a look at what they look like here. So there's my privacy policy, terms and conditions, and my affiliate disclosure. Sweet. Okay guys, we're making some great progress. We're making some headway. We're kind of getting all the little foundational things done, and now we're actually going to add a real blog post to this guy. I'm really excited about this. Now, again, if you're liking the content so far, please like this video and share it with one of your friends. Make it one of your goals to make a blog together. It's awesome. Okay, so let's go to our posts. We're going to go to all posts just to see what we've got. We've got this hello world, the default one installed by WordPress. We don't really need that anymore, so we're going to say bye-bye to the trash. And we are going to add a new post with real content. Really excited about this. This is my first blog post of many. So here's my title. I'm going to paste that in here. Oh, I guess I should fix my typo. And then I'm going to grab the rest of my article and put it down here in the body section. Cool. So once you've got your content written, it's pretty easy to put it into WordPress. Now I do want to say up front, I am using the classic editor. We did put the classic editor plugin earlier in the video. I'm probably going to make another video about the new Gutenberg editor that's come out from WordPress, but for right now, this is the classic editor from WordPress that we've been using for years. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this now so you can preview it. You can see with the permalink, it's taken the title and made it the URL. So if we right click and open this in a new tab, boom, there is my first blog post. Sweet. Now you can see it's kind of hard to read. So I'm going to show you how this editor works. We're going to go in and make this a little easier to read. So we're going to go back. The first thing we're going to do is put in some headings. So this is just set to paragraph. We want this to be our heading 2. Whoop. Oh wow, it really made the whole thing a heading. So I'm going to show you a little bit of HTML too. So if you go over here into the text mode, you can see there's our H2 header 2 tag, and it put the ending tag all the way down there. So I'm going to take that out, put it here. Go back to visual. That's a lot better. Okay, I'm going to put in a paragraph break there. And those should all be bold. So there's our bold. Make that bold. And then let's update that and take a look at it. So we can either refresh the page, or we can preview it again here with the permalink. It's whatever you prefer. Now that's getting to be a lot easier to read. So I'm going to go ahead and finish out the rest. Let's close these out. I'm going to speed up the video so you don't have to sit there and watch me do it. But let's go ahead and get this cleaned up. All right, so I made all my formatting updates. Now let's update the blog post and then preview it in a new tab and take a look-see. So much easier to read. Now, I noticed something, that the text is a little faint, a little fainter than I'd like. So I'm going to show you how to darken this up. I want that text to be black, as black as that logo. So we're going to go back into Appearance and Customize. Colors, body. See that text color? It's almost brown. So I'm going to make that black. Let's try 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. It's not black, black, but pretty close. And let's take a look at the actual article. See, I like that a lot better. See the difference? A little brownish, black. If I want a true black, doesn't seem to make a difference. About 3, a little bit lighter. It kind of all looks the same. I'm going to go jet black. Publish that change. Refresh. Watch it go from that brownish to the black. Oh, delete my cache. There we go. Black. Okay, excellent. So now you know how to handle your formatting a blog post. Now, this feels awesome. It's starting to feel like a real blog now. And it's numero uno blog post out of, I'm hoping to put up 1,000 up on here over time. I want this to be a true authority blog. So let's close that out. I want to show you one more thing with the blog posts. And every blog post needs a nice picture. So actually the picture I've got is a Rhode Island red. So let's put that picture right here. We're going to click Add Media, Upload Files, and I've got my Rhode Island red picture there. Okay, Rhode Island red. My size option. Let's see what the full size picture looks like. Yeah, that looks good. Update that guy. Ah, yes. Now, it looks like a real blog post, doesn't it? Now, I'm not going to trouble you with loading up 16 more pictures, but now you can see what a blog post looks like. I think this is starting to look sweet. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in this video, and also like this video if you're enjoying the content and you're getting value out of it. Help me know if this is good, okay? Now, one other thing I wanted to let you know is, see this black bar across the top? You'll only see this if you're logged into WordPress. You can see this is the actual WordPress dashboard. So you can edit the post right here. Quick way to do it. Then let's go ahead and log out of the WordPress admin so you can see what it looks like without that black bar. Back to the website. So there's the little home page. I'm going to click here to go to the blog post. See, no black bar. So this is what it's going to look like to the real world. Sweet. I'm really, really happy. So let's get back in here. See, we logged out. It's going to prompt us to log back in. So we can either log in with the user that we made earlier. Well, let's make sure to get the password in there right. Okay. Or we can go back here to our WordPress admin on the HostGator dashboard. All right, so let's go ahead and open up our WordPress admin again from the HostGator dashboard. Me and passwords, sometimes they just don't get along. So we're going to please wait. All right, there's one other thing I wanted to show you with these posts. I'm going to view this again. Now this is called the metadata when it was published, and by just says admin. It's pretty lame. So let's go to the quick edit. We can change our author right here. Let's actually put it to a real author. So this is just a quick edit, not going into that full-blown editor. Update it. Now let's refresh. There we go. A real author. Now, there's some other things that we need to take a look at besides the basics. That's the real basic stuff. The text formatting and the image. Now we need to make a category. All of our blog posts should be in a category. So I'm going to make a chicken breeds category and take it out of uncategorized. Not a big fan of tags. I just leave them blank. And then I want to talk about one of our other plugins that we installed and activated, the Yoast SEO plugin. So SEO, search engine optimization. This is just a little tool to help you get found in Google. None of it's gospel. I'll tell you straight up, the most important thing to being found in Google is posting content. Posting content that's good, that people want to read. Everything else will fall into place. Don't even worry about what everybody else has to say about SEO. I use this plugin though to be a helpful guide just to make sure some of the technical things about this page is right. So this is a snippet preview showing of what this post would look like if it was showing on the Google search engine result page. So we can provide a description. So I'm just going to grab my first paragraph. So this is what it will look like in Google once I add a meta description. Focus key phrase. What is the keyword phrase that people type in Google that I'm hoping to show up under? My focus key phrase for this one is chicken breeds for eggs. Okay, and that's all that I'm really going to use that for. The readability analysis says it's bad. The keyword, the focus key phrase is saying that it's bad, but it's not always right until you update. Okay, so it says it's okay. I've got some work to do. I'm not going to sweat about it now. But I just wanted to show you why we installed that plugin and how it can help you. All right, I'm still really stoked. This is coming together really well. So we've got our blog post. We've got our About Us page. And we've got our Contact Us page. And it's starting to really come together. I want to build out a menu here, and I want to work on this sidebar, and we still need to get this footer area worked out. And yeah, I don't like how these are showing up here, and I need to get rid of that credit. So let's go ahead and take care of some of this stuff. Let's start with our menus. Let's see, under appearance, we've got menus. And I'm going to make a main menu for that top right. And the way this menu builder works is you've got all of your available menu items here on the left and your actual structure on the right. So I'm going to add my About Us and Contact Us to the structure. Here they are. I'm going to make it a little alphabetical. Then I want to add a blog that shows my categories underneath that. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use this custom links and put a # there and add blog. And what that # does is it makes a a menu item that's like a parent that you can hover over, but it won't actually click on anything. So when you hover over it, I want it to show my actual categories. So right now I only have chicken breeds category. So I'm going to drag it off to the right a little bit. So what that's going to do is when someone hovers over a blog, it's going to show the chicken breeds is going to pop up. I'm going to add this to the primary menu and save it. Now let's go back to one of these pages and refresh and take a look at this main menu now. Okay, so we've got the About Us, Contact Us. There we go. Hover over blogs, there's chicken breeds. And this will show a list of all my future chicken breeds posts here. Cool. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is clean up this right sidebar. I don't need all this stuff. So if we go back to the WordPress dashboard, we're going to go under Appearance and go to Widgets. And here is our right sidebar. So I'm going to keep the search. I'm going to keep recent posts, recent comments for now. Archives, I don't really care about archives. That sorts your posts by when they were published. This blog isn't going to be really date driven. And I'm going to get rid of this meta. Meta is all this stuff that I just don't need it there. And you know what? I'm not going to have a lot of comments right out of the gate. So I'm just going to keep it limited to the search, recent posts, and categories. And there's no save button here. It updates it all in real time. So if we go back here and refresh the page. Oh, man, we've got to delete the cache too. Okay, so it shrunk that up. We've only got those 3 items: search, recent posts, and categories. So this is going to get built out as we add more content in. But I'm liking how it goes, and I think I'm going to reorder this. I think I want categories first. Delete the cache, refresh the page. Boom, categories first. Okay, so let's take care of these footer widgets. So our footer widget number 1, we're going to put pages. So let's see what that does. We're going to have to delete the cache. Yes, we are. Okay, so let's put our pages in there. I'm going to change the header though to say get in touch. Delete the cache. And there we go. Get in touch. Nice. All right. Footer widget 2. Let's do our legal stuff. Legal pages. Put legal stuff. Save. Delete the cache. See what it looks like. There we go. There's our 3 legal pages. Now, one thing I wanted to show you is these are, you can drag and drop, and you can fit more than one widget in these containers. So if I wanted to drag it up here like that and put it all under one widget, waiting to refresh, we could do that. Because this is brand new and there's not a lot of content to put in, I'm gonna go ahead and use that real estate there though. And then for widget 3, I'm gonna put recent posts, and yeah, we'll call it recent posts. Or how about articles? I don't know, we'll see. How many do you want to show? 5. And refresh it here. Yeah, that looks so much better. Another option you've got with this widget is you can display the post date when it was published. Oh, gotta delete the cache. Okay, April 13th. It's kind of nifty. I'm gonna take it out for now. All right, and then I want to make this go away. So you actually do that in the auto terms plugin settings. All right, let's set these settings. We want United States. Doopy-doopy-doo. Oh, I forgot. I'm not in Alabama. Roll Tide. I'm in Idaho. Go Broncos. Then compliance kits. We want to disable that. That's what's making it show up in the very bottom. I've already got it in a nice footer widget. I don't need it at the very bottom. So if we delete the cache, should see that go away. Lovely. Now let's get this powered by generate press to go away. We're going to go under appearance, customize. Layout, footer. We're just going to empty out this box and we'll put the little short codes in. That's going to make the copyright symbol, current year. I'm not going to do current year, I'll just do 2019. That way next year I can do this, that sort of thing. And I'll put backyard chickenshq.com. Okay. Publish that. Lovely. All right, now to get rid of the generate press credit, you do have to have the premium edition of the plugin. There it is, our brand new blog with some content added in. This is what it looks like with a post in, so the footer isn't all scrunched up there. It is time to fill in this sucker with content. This is ready to go. I am loving it. Okay guys, now we're going to talk about monetization, aka making money with your blog. So I just want to say from the outset, I'm not going to make any income claims or any income guarantees. Set even any expectations. All of this depends on the amount of work that you put in, and your results can vary upon the topic that you pick. So there's a lot of factors into how much your blog can actually make. So I'm not even going to go there, but I am going to give you a solid plan. And what I will tell you is, if you were to look at your web browsing history today, I would say 8 out of 10, maybe even more, of those websites that you visited are either on phase 3 or phase 4, doing a great job with their monetization. So I'm going to give you 4 phases to get to some really good monetization coming from your blog traffic. So phase 1 is to monetize with ClickBank. When you first launch your blog, it's going to be really hard to get approved in some of these other advertising programs, but ClickBank will let you have an account with them just as even if you don't even have a website. So they're a great place to start. They've got digital products that line up with almost every topic, and some of the commissions that they pay out are up to 75%. So it's a great place to start. Phase 2, once you have 20 articles published on your blog, really great articles, things that you know that people are going to love, go ahead and apply for the Amazon Associates and the Google AdSense programs. Now, the way that Amazon Associates works, let's say that you're writing an article about dog bowls and you put a link going back to Amazon for a dog bowl. If someone clicks that link, it puts a cookie on their web browser that's good for 24 hours. Amazon knows that person was referred to Amazon from you, so they give you a commission on average about 3.5%, depending on the category. It can be more, it could be less, the category of the product. Anytime they make a purchase with that cookie on their browser within 24 hours, you get a commission. So it's a good place to get started. Google AdSense, that works on a person clicking on a link on your page. So what happens is you put a Google ad on your website, and if a person clicks the ad and goes off to whatever the advertisement's for, they'll share part of their revenue with you, and it's about 67%. So 2/3 of that revenue. We all know how much money Google makes, and so it's a way that you can share that piece of the Google pie. So those are the upsides to them. The downside is you can't get into those programs with no content. So get at least 20 articles up and apply. Now the really cool thing is if you go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel, I'm going to be showing you my blog as I go through each of these phases. Obviously, I'm just launching this blog right now in this video, so I can't show you phase 2, 3, and 4, but if you subscribe, I'm going to be putting update videos on this channel so you can see how it works as I move through these phases. Now, phase 3, when you get your viewership up to 100,000 monthly page views, it's time to start to play with the big boys. At that point, you'll be able to have enough traffic to apply with AdThrive. What's nice about this advertising network is it's a display advertising network that pays you just for displaying the ads. It's not like Amazon Associates or Google AdSense where the person has to click for you to get some monetization. Just displaying the ads gets you revenue, and that's where you want to be. And to play in that game, to swim in that pool, you got to have some traffic. So put that on your calendar, on your goal board, 100,000 monthly page views. And as I go through this process, again, subscribe to this channel, I'm going to show you a perfect way that you can track how many monthly page views you're getting so you know where you're at for that goal. And then phase 4, this is the holy grail, million plus monthly page views. Then you're playing with the really big advertising networks, Rev Content, MGID, Outbrain, Taboola, AdNow. These are the display networks that big sites like CNN, Fox News, NBC, Drudge Report, you name it. All the big sites are using these advertising networks to monetize their traffic, and you can too. Just get to that monthly page view benchmark and you'll be there. And I'm going to give you another plan on how you can get to that amount of traffic. So hold tight. Let's start with phase 1. I'm going to go back to the computer and I'm going to show you how we can get some ClickBank banners on the blog so we have our first phase moving with some monetization. Okay guys, on the left side you'll see the ClickBank marketplace, and I found a couple really good products that I can promote as an affiliate. On the right side I've got a little worksheet that shows all of my advertisements for that product that I'm going to put into the blog. Okay, so let me show you what I've got on this worksheet. First one is my hop link. So this is the link that goes to the ClickBank product that I'm going to be referring people to as an affiliate, and it's got my affiliate ID so they know who to credit the sale to. So let me show you how this looks if you put it in the web browser. So there's the sales letter page, and they know that the sale was coming from me because it has my affiliate ID in it. Okay, this next bit of HTML code are some call to actions that I'm going to embed in my actual blog posts. And then I've got 3 different banner ads that I'm going to put in the sidebar. So this is the HTML code, and I'm going to go ahead and get into WordPress and show you how we're going to embed this in. Okay, so we're on the WordPress admin, And the first thing I want to do is make a pretty link using that pretty link plugin that we installed earlier. This is going to give me some tracking so I can see how well these links and banners that I'm embedding are performing. So if we go under pretty links, go to the main menu, we're going to create a new pretty link. The target URL is going to be this hop link. And we can put whatever we want. I'm just going to stick with the default, and I'll put in here for a title, ClickBank hop link. Create. Okay, now if you put this in the browser, it's going to take us to the same place, but it's just going to give us some tracking information. So there's our ClickBank sales letter. Now if we go over here to clicks, you can see that we've had one click. Do it again, refresh the page. We've got two. So this is just a way that I can keep track of people going from my website over to ClickBank, and there's a nice little graph. Okay, so now that I've got that link, I'm going to go back to my HTML code, and I'm going to embed that pretty link into my ads, my call to actions, and my banners. So that way when people click on these, I'll have tracking on it. All right, so I know this is HTML that you're looking at right now. It might not make a whole lot of sense, but in a moment, I'm going to tie it all together for you. So now let's put these call to actions into my blog post that we set up earlier, and you're going to see how this works. This first call to action is just a big hyperlink, and I'm going to put it in the blog post on the top third, so somewhere like this. So I'm not going to use the visual editor. I'm going to go into the text editor so I can put the HTML code in. Take that out. Take that out. I should have just grabbed the HTML. Now let's go back to the visual editor. So it's one big call to action, one big text link. Click here to discover how to easily build an attractive and affordable chicken coop. So if I update that, let's take a look at the page now. This is on the live site. Okay, so you can see, boom, got a big hyperlink there. Then if someone clicks on it, it's going to take them to the ClickBank offer in a new tab. And then if I go back to my pretty links, you can see that there's another click added. Go to clicks. All right, so let's go ahead and embed the next call to action. Now that you kind of get an idea of where I'm going with this. This one is going to be a yellow box that I'm going to put about halfway down. Let's update that and take a look. Refresh the page by deleting the cache. Okay, so now we've got a nice yellow box standing out. Oh, you know what? I put that right in the middle of a paragraph. I wanted it to be in the break. So let's go fix that. Okay. Update. And let's refresh. Should be between 5 and 6 now. All right, and then I've got one more call to action that's an orange box. And I'm going to put this down towards the bottom. And I'll show you what that one looks like. All right. So now we've just got some little ads inside the content. People, they tend to scan through articles. If you notice that with your own web browsing, you'll scan through an article before you read it the whole way. And now when people are scanning, they'll see 3 little calls to action saying, hey, check out this ClickBank offer. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about how we're going to add some banners into the sidebar off to the right side. Now those call to actions do have to be embedded into each article. You know, it's kind of a pain, takes an extra, 5 minutes per article to do, but it's definitely worth doing it, especially having all 3 in place. Now the banners are a little different. We're just going to put the code into a widget and it's going to show up on every page. So if we go over here to appearance and go to widgets, we're going to take a look-see at the right sidebar. Okay, remember we've set up search, categories, recent posts. So let's put in this text widget and grab that HTML code for one of the banners. We're going to, whoops. Sorry, guys, I shouldn't have put it in visual. I want to put it in text since it's code. Okay, there's our banner. So I'm going to click save. And let's preview the live website. Then you can see it right there. And so if you look at our blog post, delete the cache. Okay, so it's showing up there. Now I've got a couple different banners. I wanted to try a few of them out. That one was looking kind of small. Let's take a look at this second one. Okay. And this one is more of a skyscraper style. Let's take a look at this. Now these banners were provided from the person selling the product on ClickBank. Okay. I quite like that one. Okay, now one cool thing I wanted to show you is you see how the ad just kind of disappears as you scroll? All right, check this out. Now, if you remember, we installed a plugin called Q2W3 Fixed Widget. If you go back to that particular text widget that we just added, I'm going to make it a fixed widget. And what that does is it scrolls with you. So all I have to do is check that box, fixed widget, and click save. This fixed widget won't show up if you don't have that plugin installed, so be sure that you have it installed. And go back and delete the cache. Now when I scroll, the banner should go with this. Beautiful. I like that a lot. Now, if you think it's a little too cheesy to just have the ad, if that seems a little shameless, then you can have like your categories scroll with you and make that fixed too. And now the categories in the ad should go with you. Sweet. Okay, so that's the foundation for getting some monetization on your blog. It's important to have calls to action. People aren't going to check out offers, things that you want to refer them to if you don't call them to do it. And then we've got a banner off to the right that's going to work on every page that has the sidebar. So then it's just a matter of getting more traffic and moving into different ad networks. Okay guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video so far. If you have, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for updates, and share this video with someone you know that's dying to learn how to set up a blog. Now we're going to get to the part that I'm sure you've all been waiting for. We're going to talk about the secret sauce and the question that I know is weighing on everybody's mind. How are people going to find my blog? So drum roll please. It's a pretty simple answer. By being awesome. What do you think? Now I know that sounds really simplistic, but there isn't really much more to it than that. But I'm going to drill into what being awesome really means. But we need to start with what the cycle of new bloggers usually looks like. Now, usually people will build a website. They'll spend hours on the perfect aesthetics. Now, you'll notice that I didn't spend a lot of time on the aesthetics of a blog. I've found keep it simple, stupid is always the best. But people will get into the minutia. They'll spend hours making their website or their blog look perfect, and this widget and these social media buttons here and this and that. It's where they get hung up. Sometimes people get so stuck here that they never even get launched. Then when they go through all their development cycles, they'll add a few pages of content, and then the if you build it, they will come mentality sets in. They think, I got my blog up, it looks perfect, I've got a few pages of content, and I'll put it on my social media so my friends and family see it, and then it's just gonna get rolling. But then in reality, what happens? Yeah, people come and check it out. They want to support you, granted. But usually the traffic that the new blogger is expecting doesn't come, and then the panic sets in. Oh my gosh, I've put all this time and some money into this blog, and my friends and family came and checked it out, but they didn't pass it on to their friends and family. It's just not working like I thought. So I gotta do something about it. I gotta get the traffic that I want. And so they'll spend hours and sometimes hundreds or thousands of dollars learning on how to game the system. And they'll try to learn all these free traffic gimmicks. Or sometimes they'll spend hours learning these complicated paid traffic strategies. And then when it doesn't work, they give up. And it's really sad. Now, I've been through this cycle before, and I've seen lots of other people go through it. So I know all about this cycle, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. Because I don't want you to go through this cycle. I want to give you a different plan. Now, I tried to think of the best way to show you what I mean about this trying to game the system. And I thought about it, and I thought about it. And maybe even against my better judgment, I'm going to give you an example of my own life to illustrate a point. I'm going to show you one of my very early websites where I was stuck in this pattern that I just went over. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the internet's wayback machine on archive.org, and I'm going to show you a website that I launched back in 2003. Can you believe it? Man, this is going to be a blast from my past, but boy, will it help you see what I'm trying to talk about. So I made this website back in the day called freehotelroom.com. And let me show you what it looked like. I'm going to go back to this awesome internet archive back to 2003. And let's go to this June snapshot. This is the one that I really want to show you. Now, it's not going to load some of the images, but this was my website. And what I was trying to do is give people a free coupon that they could use for 3 days, 2 nights, hotel accommodations in like 20 different destinations. It's a really cool coupon. I've used them all the time. And I would get a commission fee from the hotel when people redeem the coupon. And I just learned about the internet, how to make a website, and I was like, oh, this will be great. I could use the internet to get these coupons out to people. And at first it worked really great. And back then, Google and their algorithm for indexing and ranking websites was, at a relatively basic stage. And so at that point in time, we figured out that all you had to do was put the keywords that you were trying to target in Google at different certain places in the page, and you would magically show up. Google Spider wasn't very sophisticated, so it'd see that you put keywords in the right place and it matched up with our algorithm, and you would just pop up on the first page, sometimes number 3, sometimes number 1. It was amazing. And if you look on here, you can see where I had put keywords that I was trying to target in Google. And we'll go to this side map, and for every keyword that I was trying to target, I made a special page that had all the little keywords in the right spot. And it worked. It worked for a while anyway. I remember launching these little pages, and you'd launch them and boom, within a day sometimes, overnight, maybe a few days, you'd show up. There's one page I was showing up for Las Vegas hotel, and my website was like ranked number 3. And I was getting all this traffic, and it was pretty exciting. I have to say, it was pretty cool. Well, what happened is every day moving forward, those engineers at Google were trying to get their algorithm even better. Because the thing you need to understand about Google is the only reason they're in business is because they provide a good search experience for the people that use their tools. That is their number one imperative. As soon as they stop providing the best experience, they know they'll lose out to another tech company. So they're very careful about who they rank on the front page. They want content that's going to deliver exactly what that person is searching for. And it's amazing to see where it's come. So in their evolution, they said, okay, we can't just rank websites based on keywords. Anybody can stuff keywords into a page, and we don't know who their website owner is, and we don't know if it's relevant. So they made a change. In addition to the content on the page, they decided to say, okay, well, who is linking to this website? And it's called backlinks. Because in their logic, they said, if a website's important, other websites are going to be linking to it. And here's a really good example that I've used for years and years and years. Backlinks are like little votes in the Google algorithm. They can see with their search engine spider that crawls the web who's linking to who. So their logic says, let's say I have 2 web pages that are talking about the trailer to a new movie. If I look at one page and it's only got 1 or 2 backlinks to it because it's someone that wrote a blog post about that new movie trailer coming out, and then the second page has got, let's say it's like on Sony.com or on Disney.com, and it's got millions of links pointing to it because everyone is saying, oh, look, it's the official trailer that just came out for this movie. Which one tells you that is probably the most credible webpage for that particular movie trailer coming out? The webpage with 2 or 3 people linking back to it, or the one with millions linking back to it? Pretty obvious it's going to be the one with the thousands or millions of links. And these are scenarios that happen all the time. Obviously, movie studio websites are going to get more backlinks from people's social media, other people's blogs, than someone, that's just starting out as a self-styled movie critic. So as soon as Google added that part of their algorithm, my website just sunk. This hotel coupon website. I had all the keywords right, but who was going to backlink to this? And it just sunk. In fact, if we go back to the Wayback Machine in 2004, I just basically kind of let it go because you see, it went back to a GoDaddy Park page. I didn't even have the website up anymore. So, I circled my wagon and I was like, well, I've been able to game the system before, and all these schemes are coming out about how you can buy backlinks and trade backlinks and, all these little tactics. But at the end of the day, they're just little games. It's not organic. It's not like being the movie studio. It's not like people are linking to you because it's really high quality, important. These backlinking games still exist, and Google knows about it, and they've been trying to do something about it. And 2019 is a really interesting phase in blogging, and it's really cool. It's different, but it's really cool. Google knows that people can game their algorithm with backlinks, and so there's something that we have now that we didn't have back in 2003 or 2004, like with my little hotel website that I'm showing you. And that's social media. Back then, you didn't know who was who. It was really hard to find out if someone was credible with something, but now it doesn't take much at all. You can go to people's LinkedIn page and see what they're all about. You can go to their social media. And so that's what they're actually starting to do. Google has made it public in the information that they post about how their algorithm works, that now they've added an element of human review to a website. And they're adding a lot more weight to the authority of a website based on their human review versus systematic things that their spiders find, like backlinks and keyword placement in pages and things like that. So that's the evolution of getting found in Google. And it's really cool because now you just can't be someone saying, I don't know anything about hotels, rooms in Vegas, but I'm going to start a website anyway. Well, those days are gone. But it's provided everyone with an opportunity to show, hey, I am credible in this area of information. And it doesn't mean that you have to have a doctorate or a PhD in it, but it's a way that you can say, hey, I've done this. I've been to this place. I know about this topic, and I'm going to produce great content about it. When Google can find that on your blog, if they can verify that you are creating content that's going to provide a great experience to their users, then they're going to send you traffic. So it's a great time. And that translates into YouTube, into your blog articles. Because think about it. If not only are you going to take the time to write really good, well-meaning, well-written content and make it an article on a blog, if you're going to take it to the next level and make a YouTube video out of it, well then how much more credible are you? That is what I mean when I say be awesome. So let's take it just a little bit deeper. What I hope you'll have running through your mind, and the number one takeaway from this video as you're making your blog is to be a maker and not a faker. Be a maker of good, high quality content. What are the main sources of traffic going to be for this blog that we're going to set up? Well, number one is going to be Google organic traffic. So I just went on a little screed, a little diatribe about that. Don't game the system. Start by making really good, high quality content, and start with low competition keyword targets. And I'm going to dig into that a little bit deeper, but don't go after the big keywords, even though the big volume is there. It's a real temptation, but let's start out small. Got plenty of time to grow into the bigger, more competitive keywords. We're also going to be getting organic social media. And we're also going to do a little bit of paid social media, mostly through Facebook ads. What are the main or the major drivers of your success? A well-designed content plan and adding to the existing conversation of your topic. Okay, so I've got another example from my personal life to go over some of these points that I just went over. Now, this is my very first YouTube channel that I made back in 2008 called Weekly Computer Tip. And I was an IT guy, and I thought, oh, it makes sense. I'll make some computer videos. So let's drill a little bit deeper into what I learned from my experience on this channel. Now, if you look there, it was about, 5 or 6 videos that I put on this channel. YouTube was a lot different place back then than it is now. In fact, I let this one go because I thought it was an abject failure. So these are some of my lessons learned looking back that I use in my personal life as a blogger now. So I opened up 2 videos here. Now this one was called How to Save an Animated or Moving GIF File. Now with this particular video, I found a question out on Yahoo Answers, and I turned it into a video. I answered that question. And if you look at it, over 11 years, it's got 369,000 views. I never thought I would have got that many views at the time that I posted it. And this was all about taking a real life question, something that people had on their mind, and I was going to answer it for them. Now let's look at this second one. How to make more than one website your homepage. Now, where did I get the idea for this video? Well, this was like a little trick that I figured out on my own. Every morning I launch my web browser and I've got like 6 or 7 web pages that I know I go to every day, and I was like, this is something everybody needs to know because it works so well for me. And so I just came up with this idea on my own, and look how many views it's had in 11 years. Like, do you see the difference? Like, my idea versus going out into the community. Like, what you want to do is answer people's questions. People have these conversations going on in their head. Think about the last time that you were trying to figure something out. Like, I remember one time I was trying to figure out a new technique to barbecue something, and I just was on YouTube and Google just for hours passionately looking for all the different answers. Well, that's your opportunity. You want to find the things that are prompting people to get into that mode of just looking for answers. And you can find them all over the place instead of just sitting down and being like, well, I'm just going to talk about something that I think is really cool. That it was painfully obvious to me which strategy is the best way to move forward. So you want to tap into the conversation going on in people's head around the topic that you're trying to go after. The other lesson that I learned is about having a good content plan up front. Do you want to know why I abandoned this channel? I look at it as like a dog chasing a car. Dogs chase cars all the time. But there's that old adage is, what does the dog do once it catches the car? Well, I don't know. So I had this great idea making this YouTube channel. I'll call it weekly computer tip. And I'll put some content up there once a week. And I was like, well, I'll just kind of put something up every week, every Saturday morning, something that just suits my fancy. And I didn't come up with a plan up front. I didn't sit down and say, you know what, I'm going to make a year's worth of weekly video ideas and then just plow through them for the rest of the year. I just said, I'll just free flow it, I'll just make this channel and I'll just kind of make it up as I go. And I was like that dog chasing the car that actually caught it. I was like, well, what do I do now? I'm gonna make, and so I did it like solid for a good month and a half. And then I was like, you know what? No one's watching these videos. I'll just let it go. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. And so I did. I just let it go. So that was lesson number 2. Have a plan up front. Don't be like the dog chasing the car, not knowing what to do once you catch that car. Get a really solid plan up front. And when I say a plan, and we're going to go into this a little bit deeper in a sec, but I'm talking like thousands. Don't be afraid to come up with a content plan of 1,000, 2,000 articles that you're going to put on your blog. Get that up front. And then the third thing that I learned out of this experiment is don't give up. Don't just let things go, because I look at this video now and I'm like, 369,000 views? Oh my goodness. If I would have only known when I posted that video. You just never know how things are going to go. Don't get down in the dumps. Just keep fighting. Keep looking for what people are trying to figure out, and just keep attacking. Oh, and the other thing, if you want to go and troll on this video, feel free, because back in 2008, I was using MySpace and Windows XP, and people in the comments still just get a real kick out of it. Anyway, it's pretty funny. And so I just want to recap what we were talking about just a little bit before. What matters in 2019? Authoritative and authentic content. Please start your blog around something that you can speak to. You don't have to be the world's expert on it, but have it be about something you really know about. And here's an example. Let's say you want to start a blog about something that you want to learn about. Let's say that you want to start a blog about raising hedgehogs and you don't have a hedgehog. Well, go and get a hedgehog. Learn all about him for a month and then start your blog. Just have it be authentic. Don't try to start writing something you don't know anything about, because it's going to show through. No one's going to take it serious. And places like Google and Facebook, places that seem like reliable traffic sources, they're going to see through it too and provide an amazing reader experience. Tap into that conversation that they're having in their head. And you also want to have a fast performing website. And I'm going to have a follow-up video about how to make your blog really fast, so be sure to subscribe so you'll get notified when that video comes out. Now, avoid these pitfalls. Buying backlinks and shady traffic, trying other ways to try to game the system. If you're reading some information it feels like this advice that I'm getting, it feels like I'm trying to do a trick, don't do it. Just stay away. And also, when you're posting on your blog, stay away from plagiarizing and putting up crap content. Just take the time to put together really good content. And of course, the biggest pitfall of all, don't give up too soon. So let's talk about making your content plan. Where can you find content ideas? There's great question aggregators out on the web like answerthepublic.com, Quora, and Yahoo Answers. Amazing. I just showed you an example of a YouTube video I made from a Yahoo's Answer question that got hundreds of thousands of views. You can look for online conversations in forums, Facebook groups, Reddit, YouTube comments. YouTube comments are great places to find blog post ideas. You can also do keyword analysis in tools like ubersuggest.io, Google Trends. And this is a really interesting one, personal interviews. I remember sitting down talking to someone about a blog that we were launching, and they had been down the road of the particular topic like 2 or 3 years, and I was just like, so tell me like the questions and the concerns you had when you first started this hobby. Like, what were you concerned about, afraid of? And I just wrote them all down. Boom, there was like 40 blog content ideas. And of course, existing content. Don't be afraid to go out to existing websites and use that as a launching pad for great ideas, because there is the phrase that gets bannered around from time to time, there's nothing new under the sun. It's nothing wrong with taking existing content and making it better, putting your twist on it. I'm not saying copy and plagiarize, but using it as a launching pad. Now, once you go through all these different places, put all of your ideas down into a master list. And like I said before, don't be afraid to come up with over 1,000 ideas. Get those down first. And then you want to organize all of your ideas into a taxonomy or a category structure, little buckets of content ideas. And with my chicken blog, an example of my taxonomy, I'm going to have a category about chicken breeds. I'm going to have a category about safety, one about illnesses, and one about chicken coops. So take all these ideas and put them into buckets. So here's answerthepublic.com. And you've got a search box here. And I'm just going to put in my topic, backyard chickens. And this is going to spit me back all kinds of information that people are putting out onto the internet, mostly in the form of questions. So by default, the tool puts all this information into a visualization. It's good for your visual learning folks. If you like it a little more linear, like look at this. Are backyard chickens worth it? Are backyard chickens ethical? Are backyard chickens messy, smelly? Can backyard chickens eat banana peels? Do backyard chickens attract rats? Like, look at all these things that you can write about. I mean, put these into your master list. Those are all questions, and then they've got search terms based on prepositions. Backyard chickens for beginners. Backyard chickens for dummies. See, look at all the content ideas here, the comparisons. Backyard chickens and salmonella. I mean, oh, and I'll look at all these terms that they're going to sort alphabetically for you. Great way to start. And then you can download all these into a CSV file that you can open up in Excel. Even better way to look through all this data. Now, you're probably already familiar with Quora.com because they show up in Google all the time. And so one of the best ways to search Quora is actually through Google. So if you type site and then put a colon and then Quora.com and a space, that is an operator that tells Google, don't search your entire index, only search results from Quora.com. And then in parentheses, you could put your search term in backyard chicken. You can see some of the questions that are in Quora. What's it like to start a backyard chicken coop? How many people in the US keep chickens in their backyard? What are some negative aspects? It just keeps going and going. And let's say I want to drill into my taxonomy a little bit, a bucket of my categories, chicken coops. Can you have 2 chicken coops in the same place? I'm buying a chicken coop and 2 hens for the first time. How to build a chicken coop. The ideas really can flow through Quora, and I like searching it through Google rather than their actual website. And of course, there's Yahoo Answers, and it's real similar to Quora, but it's another great place to look. What would I grab here? Backyard chickens, any advice? I'd probably go through this one and just start looking for people's advice that they're giving out and use that as a springboard. And look at all this. They're talking about, feed tips. So this is just a great springboard to look for content ideas as well. Now you can also use Google to find forums related to your topic. One way to do it is just pretty simple. Type a keyword related to your topic and then just type forums in it. And you'll see forums come up, like backyardchickens.com has a forum, chicken forum, forum.backyardpoultry. If you really want to get specific, there's a search operator that you can put into Google. So you put your keyword chicken coops and then you use the in URL and then forum or in URL forums. And what that tells Google is only give me search results that have forum in the URL. And that way, that's a little bit of a better guarantee that it'll be an actual forum. So you can see there's forums here in the URL, forums, forum here. So that's why you want it singular and plurals, because this doesn't have an S, but there's a forum there. So it's another great way to go in and find out what people have on their mind. What is the conversation going on around your topic? Now, looking for Facebook groups is a little more obvious because we're all in Facebook all the time, but look at all the backyard chicken groups that I found just by one quick little search. So that's a great place to go. A lot of forums have moved away from the kind I showed you in the Google searches into actual Facebook groups. So definitely go through there. Look, 61,000 people, 10 plus posts a day. There's going to be full of people's questions and concerns. Well, look at that, 284 new posts today. So looks like I'm gonna have to join the group, but I'm not gonna use these groups to spam them, okay? That's falling back into the whole gaming the system, tricking the system. We're just using it to do some research, to build a list of our content ideas. Because what the goal is, over time, the more you post, the more likely that people are gonna say, hey, in these type of groups, in these forums, you should really look at this website to see what they have to say. And that's where the organic growth occurs. Now, Reddit never ceases to amaze me how much content and conversation and things that get passed around every day on Reddit. So let's see if there's any backyard chicken subreddits. They call their forums subreddits. So we're looking at things that have been passed around, headlines. Look at that one, weed control with backyard chickens. I think I need to add that to my master list because I don't have that one. But oh yeah, look, there is a community. There's a subreddit with 1,000 members, backyard chickens. So there's people posting their pictures. Hey, look at this. Here's a great question to answer. Our chicken eggs have white dots. Is it gangrenous? There we go. And then, of course, there's YouTube. So I just typed in chicken coop real quick. Look at these videos. 3 million views, 500,000 views. Like, these could be something that you could create as content on your blog. Now, keep in mind, we're not copying them. We're not going to steal their video. We're not going to take what they're saying word for word, but it's a springboard for an idea. And so the video themselves is something that you could do, like rainwater harvesting off a chicken coop. Great idea. Like 500,000 people were interested in that. And it was recent too, within the last year. The other thing you can do is go through these comments and see what you can find. Now, a lot of the comments you're going to find are people saying, hey, thanks, great job, nice, pal. But every once in a while, you'll see things that you can use for your own blog. And let's see what I can find in here. So they're saying, hey, maybe a cheap solar panel from Harbor Freight will keep that little deep cycle battery juiced up. So could that be a content idea? Take a little note of things like that. There's another one that I saw in here. Yeah, so someone's saying, I had the same kind of floor so I could just sweep everything out. But you know, chickens, they kick stuff. Every time I opened the door, I got a load of stuff that fell on my shoes. What I did was put a 1x6 removable board across the entrance. Hey, there's something that you can add to the conversation onto your blog. This right there in the YouTube video, probably something that the video creator didn't even think about. It's like solid gold in those comments. And then of course there's Uber Suggest, looking into keyword research, find out what is going on into Google. Tools like this are aggregating data. I do want to say that these are just estimates. Don't take these numbers as gospel. They're actually usually sometimes a lot higher than the numbers here. But I just did a quick search on chicken coop. How many different content ideas can I put in my chicken coop bucket in my taxonomy? And let's talk about that trap of going for the big keywords, because we all want traffic, right? We look at this and we're like 135,000 searches a month. Oh my goodness, I want to rank #1 for that keyword. Well, of course we do, but look at the difficulty score. 77 out of 100, that's hard. Save yourself some mental health by not going after this out of the box. It's not going to happen within your first month, probably not even in your first year, but there's still opportunities here. Let me show you how you find those opportunities. You go down to these keyword ideas. It's giving 153 keyword ideas. Now watch this. This is phenomenal. I wish I had this years ago. Go into the filter and go into the search volume and set it at a minimum of 100 searches. Am I going to write an article for a keyword that gets 100 searches a month? You bet I am, because I know it'll be easy to rank for, and that's a good place to start. 100 searches is 100 searches. Heck, I'll even go 50. 50 people landing on my website starting out, free traffic, you bet. And that SEO difficulty, let's put the max score of 40. Let's get rid of all the really difficult ones. Apply that filter, and boom, we got 58 that land in what I call the sweet spot zone. Look at this. Now, you want to stick with the green. Green is good. With 35, once you get over 35, you're getting into the more difficult keywords to rank for, but I like to put 40 just so I can see what the bubble looks like. And what have we got here? Look at this. Chicken coop from pallets, 1,600 searches a month and a keyword difficulty score of 14. Heck yes, that's probably going to be one of the first articles that I want to put on my list and on my blog. And look at this, chicken coop Minecraft. Now that fits in the zone, probably doesn't fit. And look at these that are right on the bubble. Chicken coop for 10 chickens. That's really awesome. Now let me show you another way that you can gauge your SEO competition in Google. Okay, so in Google we're going to do what's called an exact phrase match by putting your search term in quotes. So let's put that term we found before, chicken coop from pallets. It gave us a auto suggestion. We're going to put it in quotes to do an exact phrase match, because that's going to tell us who is really gearing their articles on that exact phrase. And then do your search. And it's going to show that there's 222,000 results for that keyword phrase. Now if we do a broad match where they're just trying to come up with a combination of keywords for that phrase, you can see it's more like 3 million. But for the exact phrase, it's quite a bit less. Anytime that it's below 300,000, that's thumbs up. And in fact, that's how they come up with a lot of these scores themselves. So if you want to go to the source and figure out how they're coming up with that score, that's one quick way to do it. Over 300,000, it's not where you want to start with a brand new blog. And even the Google Auto-Suggest is a really helpful way to start. Let's just type in chicken coop. See, their chicken coop from pallets was there, chicken coop ideas. So it's not going to give us the competition score as easily as tools like Uber suggest, but this is a great way to brainstorm ideas too. So here's my master list of all of my content ideas. I'm coming up with them first before I really launch this blog. This is the most important part. You want to get it all down on paper first. And then what I do is to manage my actual content development, I made a Kanban board in Trello.com. Now be sure to subscribe to this channel because I'm going to make a video about how to get this set up. But this is a way that I can track all of my content ideas in the actual process of developing content. See, here's my 13 breeds that lay lots of eggs. I've moved that from my content ideas board into actual editing because I'm editing it on my blog now. And see, these are some of the articles that I'm actually going to start writing. So these are all of my ideas. These are what I'm writing. These are what I'm editing on my blog, and this is where I'll put the card when it's actually published in my WordPress blog. It's brilliant. So that really is the secret sauce. I hope you're excited. I know I'm excited sharing this with you. Whenever I get into this phase of getting my blog going, it's always really fun. Like this video if you're excited. Leave a comment and tell me what you think of the video as you've been going through. Share this content. I hope that everybody that's thinking about starting a blog finds my video and gets to this far. I know it's a long one, but this is great information, guys. It'll really make the difference getting these content ideas lined up, make it methodical. What are we going to talk about? Make good taxonomy, buckets that make sense so my blog makes sense to people when they land on it. You'd be surprised the number one reason people will land on your blog and then leave and then never come back is because they're like, what's this site all about? And get that planned up front. There's a lot of videos that'll show you, all the aesthetics. That's not really what I focus on. My blogs are, you saw it, they're pretty plain. But what makes the blog successful is your content plan. So here's the next really cool part, how we're going to sew all these pieces together to make an amazing blog that people are going to find in Google and that they're going to want to come back over and over again. So phase 1, these are your steps. Mark them on your calendar. Phase 1 is to write and publish 20 articles ASAP and do a mix between the FAQs, the questions that we found, like an answer to the public. Mix in some shareables, like your top 10, your top 10 chicken coop plans, and put out some how-tos. Make these articles, 500 to 2,000 words, really good content that people are going to absorb. Get them done ASAP, because then you can start to apply to like the Amazon affiliate program that we talked about, getting Google AdSense in there, and don't do all 20 articles just in one bucket. Start to fill in, like if you come up with 5 categories, put 4 in each one. Start to make your blog make sense to people when they land on it. Get that done ASAP. Like the next month, get your blog up. Don't spend a lot of time on the aesthetics. Get your content in there. That's what matters. Phase 2, once you've got your 20 articles, go ahead and create your social media accounts. There's no point in setting up a Facebook page and a Twitter account and an Instagram feed for a blog that doesn't have any content. Get your 20 articles up first and then make your accounts. Make a Facebook page, make a YouTube channel, make a Pinterest business account. And at this point, turn your best 10 articles so far into YouTube videos. You'll be a step ahead. A step ahead. There's so much going on YouTube. It's unbelievable. And so many people are intimidated by YouTube videos. And I'll make a YouTube video about making YouTube videos, so subscribe to the channel so you get notified when it comes out. It's really easy. Once you have your article written, you already have your script. Then it's a matter of just sitting down with PowerPoint like I'm doing now and narrating your own video. And it's really funny. Authenticity works on YouTube. It doesn't have to be polished. And then run a $25 Facebook ad on your best article. Find out what people think about it. But don't do all this kind of stuff before you actually have any content on your blog. And then phase 3, write and publish 100 more articles. Continue down your master list of content. Try to stretch and get at least 3 10,000 word articles. On my best performing blog, my first 9 articles out of the gate were 10,000 word articles. Show Google, show the community that you're serious, show them that you're authoritative about this subject. The other thing that's a stretch is try to get those 100 articles done in 3 months. Really add some momentum to your blog. Make that your goal. That is, out of all the secret sauce, that is the secret awesome sauce. Get 100 more articles, so you're up to 120. Try to get that done in 90 days, 3 months. And then phase 4, write and publish 1,000 more articles. Become an authority website. Make YouTube videos along the way. And honestly, give yourself some time. This could take 3 years. And also run Facebook ads along the way. See how people respond. And this is where it's kind of voodoo. And when you make that kind of content, Google's going to take notice. If it's good content, people are going to take notice. They're going to share. Resist the urge to, be buying backlinks. Like, make it organic. Don't be afraid to reach out to other blog owners and just say, hey, would you like to have a collaboration? Would you like to write some articles together? There's things that you can do, but it's more important to publish the content. Now let's go back to my freehotelroom.com website that I brought up earlier in this section. So I remember in about 2005 when I was kind of regrouping, kind of licking my wounds, thinking, oh man, can't really game the system anymore. I read a guy's blog post saying that he did the Authority Site Challenge, and he wrote 1,000 high-quality posts on his blog within a year. He really buckled down and did it, and the guy never looked back. He was set. Google looked at his blog as an authority website, and almost every blog that I've looked at that gets over 1,000 posts, they never look back. They're always successful. So another thing that's really important to do is to put some really good thought into how you want your About Us page to look and what kind of information you're going to include there. Since Google is going to do a manual review of your website at one point, make sure that on your About Us page that you're putting as much information as you can about yourself, how you relate to the topic that you selected. Put links to your social media so they know that you're real. If you have a LinkedIn profile that relates to the topic, that's a great thing to do as well. Remember, you don't have to be the world's leading expert on something. If you don't want to link to your social media, or you don't have a lot of awards or things, then do what I've started out here by saying, hey, these are real pictures of me doing this thing, this topic. These are my actual chickens. So I'm starting out by really making my About Us page really focus in on how I relate to this topic. So one last thing I wanted to show you in regards to promotion is how to put some social sharing buttons on your blog post. That way, if someone reads your content and they love it, give them some buttons to make it really easy to share across Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, all the social networks out there. And to do this, we installed the Share This plugin. So let me show you how we're going to get this all configured. Go to the Share This menu, and on this Let's Get Started page, I'm going to pick the Get Inline Share buttons. So I'm sure that you've seen these social share buttons all over every website that you go to. This plugin makes it nice to put them right into our blog. And so by default, it's got Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, this little email share icon, and this is an SMS button that'll only show up on mobile that lets people send the article to someone else via a text. If you want, you can enable Facebook Messenger, and this green Share This is like a catch-all for everything else. So if there's other social networks you want to add in, like Reddit, you just highlight it to enable them. Then you can reorder it by dragging it. I think you drag it up here. So if I wanted to put Reddit here, Facebook Messenger here. Now keep in mind this only shows up on mobile. Okay, so I quite like that. I like the center alignment. You can choose your size and it'll get a preview of what all these changes do. I'm going to stick with small. And then if you want it to show your share counts or a call to action, you know, pin on Pinterest, tweet on Twitter, or you can have no label, makes it really small. I like the call to action. So I just really like how that looks. I'm not going to really design it anymore. And then we're just going to register with Share This. So it's just like registering an account that you're used to doing, you know, nothing too difficult. All right, and then we're going to get really specific on where we're going to put it in WordPress. So by default, it shows it on the top of your post. You can put it in the bottom if you want. You can even say, do you want to put it in your pages? I'm not going to worry about pages or excerpts. And this is a short code that you can put it wherever you want, but it's going to just show up by default just like this. So let's go ahead and update these settings, and then let's go look at one of our blog posts, and you'll see those share buttons show up. We'll view, and boom, there you go. So the share buttons are showing up. Great way to get some free promotion. Well, that's the end of today's workshop. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you had a lot of fun. I know I did. I had a fantastic time putting all this information together. If you got value out of today's workshop, then please like and share this video. And also don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because this is just the start. I'm going to be cataloging the entire life of this blog right here on this YouTube channel, so you want to definitely tune in for updates. And please, if you've got any questions, send them to info@createablogtonight.com. I'm going to use your questions to make more videos and live streams. So we'll look forward to seeing you then, and have a great day.